What is going on, everyone? I made my way down to a beach area it's a town called Puerto Colombia, and the object was to get to a beach where I could walk. Instead, I ended up, the Uber driver took me to a private club that I don't know, paid like $2.50 to get into, and that ended up on this beach. It's nice, but the problem is there's not much space to walk, so I'm going to try to get some good footage for you guys, but ultimately I'm going to be dodging the water this whole time. So anyway, we got basically a bunch of beach chairs set up. We have some vendors. There's a lot of families here. It is a Sunday today, so there's a lot of families around, and I don't know how long I'm going to record before someone might tell me, hey, you should put that away. That happens a lot here. But anyway, so I wanted to come near the beach. For me, the beach is one of my biggest areas of peace. I get peace from the beach. Honestly, since I've been in Colombia, I really miss my time in Dominican, and I miss my time in Costa Rica. Now I have wet shoes as well, but so I'm gonna see if I can get around. It looks like there's a little bit of a malecón here down at the end, like a little bit of a rock wall. So yeah, the ocean is just so refreshing to see, guys. I haven't seen the ocean in a little while. Today is a day off the gym. I'm not working out today. I crushed it yesterday. I'm sore. My legs are sore, so but this beach here is absolutely bumping. And I'm like on a local area of the beach right now. Check this out. The tide is so high. Tide is literally like up into the tables and chairs here. But yeah, like I was saying, like this year, I've only spent 3 months in Canada. The rest of the year, I spent a month in Miami. I spent 5 weeks in Costa Rica. I was in Nosara and I was in Tamarindo. I spent 5 weeks in Dominican Republic. I was in Cabarete, Puerto Plata, Santo Domingo, the capital, which was, I didn't imagine even like that city, but that city was great. And then, where else was I? I was in Nicaragua, San Juan del Sur, Nicaragua for a week. And then I came to Colombia. And I was kind of in Colombia in between. I've been bouncing back and forth from Colombia because I have friends who are expats. And my buddies who are expats are, check this out, gang. Yeah, like I said, for me, beaches are peace, and at some point I'm going to be living right by a beach. Now, I will say this. I love Colombia as a country. Colombia is a beautiful country, especially around the mountains. The coastline areas like this are nice, but they don't compare to Costa Rica, and definitely don't compare to something like Dominican Republic, which, by the way, is so underrated. Dominican Republic, I don't even want to say that on this video because I don't want to put too many people onto Dominican Republic in that way, because right now everyone thinks about Dominican Republic like like all-inclusive resorts, but no, it's way more than that. I'm not going to give away too many details, but yeah, so Dominican Republic is great. Costa Rica is great as well. It's not very good for nomads. I'm going to tell you guys right now, if you're nomadic and you like to move around a lot, Costa Rica is going to be a pain in your ass because the Wi-Fi signal sucks. The transit time between towns is super long. The driving is terrible. The roads are horrible. And if there's any weather, they get washed out, so you're pretty much stuck. So I'll talk more about Costa Rica later, but overall, Costa Rica is a beautiful country. It's great if you want to just be chill, you want to do a retreat, you want to regroup, or you want to work in one spot and you find a good spot. Maybe you have like one of those portable satellite Wi-Fis and you found one area and you just want to hunker down there. Amazing. Costa Rica is amazing for that. But if you move around a lot, if you want to travel around a lot and work at the same time, I don't recommend Costa Rica in that way. Dominican Republic is better in that way. And if you love the beach, Dominican's where it's at. But Colombia in general, man, Colombia in general is a slept-on country, great country. All right, so one of the most common questions I get asked about Colombia is this dangerous? Is it dangerous there? And the truth is, if you want me to give you the straight-up answer, it's going to be more dangerous than probably what you're accustomed to in the United States, Canada, Europe, and any of those countries, for sure. But that doesn't mean you should have fear coming to Colombia. It just means you need to keep your head on your shoulders. Like, for instance, right now, I'm in a private club. I paid to get into a private club, which they probably don't want me recording anything in here. Probably the cameras are not allowed. I might get told not to record, but regardless, I'm paid for a private club. It's a little bit more safe. This is also in the daytime too, so like there's not as much to worry about in the daytime. Now, if you are the type of person who likes to go out at nighttime, especially by yourself or maybe only two of you, you do have to keep your head on straight. I said this before in my first video as well, but Colombia in general is a little bit more dangerous than what you're used to. Not much more different than, let's say, Mexico, Brazil, Nicaragua. Definitely safer than Honduras. So in terms of Latin America, no, you're not going to feel much different than in terms of Latin America. If your experience with Latin America is a resort in Dominican Republic or a beach town in Costa Rica, yes, it's more dangerous than a beach town in Costa Rica. Although Costa Rica, if you guys check into the reports now, Costa Rica is starting to get a little bit, there's a lot of immigrants from Venezuela and Panama and even Colombia going there and trying to basically do with the drug trade and stuff. So keep your eye open for that if you are intending to go to Costa Rica. But yeah, overall, Colombia, nothing to worry about. If you're gonna do stupid things and party and seek out certain things at nighttime, you might get yourself into trouble. Other than that, there is no reason to worry about this place. You can relax, especially during the day, especially if you're going to private areas, especially if you're staying in a nicer hotel or Airbnb in a good area of the city or town, you're completely fine. When in doubt, always have a tour guide with you. And a tour guide doesn't have to be literally like paying onto a tour. You can literally hire a person, a local, to go around with you. And as a matter of fact, my friends who are expats do that. They hire drivers, they hire bodyguards, they hire people to go with them to clubs, they hire people to go with them to new areas. So not only can they show them where to go and what to do and avoid this because that's overpriced, but also just to keep a watchful eye out, just in case there are, most people in Colombia are so nice. Colombians are so nice. As a matter of fact, they're more willing to go out of their way to help you than someone in the United States or even Canada would be. That being said, there are some bad apples, as there are in most countries. There are bad apples. So you can usually tell by the way they look at you. And if I'm ever in a place and I see someone look at me a little funny, I go the other direction, because some people, they just look at you. I'm here respectfully, but there are a lot of tourists that come to different countries, go to different countries, and are disrespectful. And that's why I went on that rant in the first video, because if you're going to be disrespectful in a country, it gives a bad name to people from your country. So if you're from, Switzerland, and you go to Colombia and you act a jackass and do stupid shit in public, then it looks bad on your people. But most of the time they just think you're American anyway, so you're probably good. Just let the Americans get the bad rap. Sorry, Americans. I know I have American friends. But anyway, guys, check this out. I'm just taking a seat here. I did not buy into a little cabana yet, but I am going to buy into a cabana and chill out in a second. I'll get a video when I'm in there. What's going on, everyone? I got an umbrella. I was sweating my ass off. I couldn't sit out there anymore. It's got to be 33, 34 degrees Celsius easily today. It's the most beautiful day in probably 4 weeks, because most days here this time of year, October and November, by the way, are rainy season. That's probably good information, They're rainy season, so most days they start off 9, 10, 11 a.m. good, and then all of a sudden breaks out to clouds and rain for the rest of the day. So FYI, if you plan to come to Colombia in October or November, these are the rainy seasons. They usually stay like December 1st is the start of the nicer season, and I will tell you from experience that February and March are perfect here in Barranquilla, even though I'm not in Barranquilla right now. By the way, I got a Corona. Yes, occasionally I do have some beers. I'm not completely completely like no alcohol, no sugar, no this. No, I'm just minimal alcohol, minimal processed foods, minimal sugar, that kind of stuff. So we do enjoy from time to time, and you know, when you're in the position, heaven. So good. So good. Anyway, so check this out. So we're gonna relax here for a couple hours. We're not gonna do anything too extravagant. What I want from you guys is, I want you guys to, down in the comments, I know this is brand new and there's not a lot of you here yet, but I want you guys to drop comments down in the question, drop questions down in the comments down in the questions. Drop questions down in the comments, and anything that you guys have that's a good question, what I'm gonna do is in my next video, I'm gonna make a Q&A segment, a full Q&A segment where I answer anything that you guys have, that you guys wanna know about Colombia, anything you wanna know about traveling in Latin America, anything you wanna know about visas, but especially, because don't forget, I am a personal health and fitness coach, anything to do with health, fitness, nutrition, and weight loss that you guys want to know, okay? So whether you're here for travel, whether you're here for fitness, whether you're here for both, the combination of both, by the way, nothing is off limits. We can still enjoy, as long as we enjoy in moderation. This is my first alcoholic drink in 2 weeks, so I didn't have any last week. Have a beer today, maybe 2 beers today. When you're in a place like this, I mean, how could you not? They've got great music. Anyway, my server's taking a million. That's the thing with you will notice when you're traveling through Latin America, the service is way more laid back. You'll notice this in the Caribbean too. I've been to a bunch of places in the Caribbean. I've been to Turks and Caicos, the Cayman Islands. I've been to Barbados, Bermuda, even though Bermuda is not true Caribbean, but still, it's gorgeous. I love Bermuda. One of my favorite places I've ever been in my entire life, and I can't wait to go back. So, yeah, just travel's exciting. Travel's exciting, and the hardest thing is, like, how do you stay in good shape when you travel? How do you not turn into a bag of lard? Well, if I was to give you one tip right now, is when you travel, if you only have a week, just do whatever you want to do. If you only have a week, because a week is not going to throw you off in the long term for your weight loss, for your health and fitness. Sure, maybe that week, if you do whatever you want, you're going to gain a couple pounds. But guess what? As soon as you get back into your routine, you know what's going to happen? You're going to regain control of all your habits, your nutrition, your hydration, your sleep, your training or your workout schedule. And then it's going to be easy at that point. So first off, that's the first thing is, if you're only away for a week, freaking enjoy it. If you're away for extended periods like me, make your fitness, build your health and fitness routine right into your travel. Because I'm a digital nomad, I'm not feeling pressed every single day. Oh, I gotta go out and like have a packed schedule every single day and drink all the time and da-da-da-da-da. You know, I don't have that same pressure. Also, I'm traveling solo for the most part. You know, I have aligned with friends multiple times this year. I do have friends that have come down and met me. I have friends that travel full-time like me, nomadic people, expats. But I'm not with them on a daily-to-daily basis. All right, guys, check this out. This is one of my favorite dishes on the Caribbean coast of Colombia. This is called Moara FR. This is what I talked about in my last video. I'm getting it again now. Virtually what it is a whole fried red fish. I think it's kind of tilapia, but I'm not sure. It's a white flesh, but the outside is red. Anyway, these are patacones. Patacones are fried plantains that are basically, plantain is like these are not sweet. These are the what do they call them? The green plantains. So they crush them down and they fry them. They're delicious. And then this right here is arroz de coco. This is coconut rice, and it is delicious. It's sweet, it's tasty. Yeah, and this obviously is the whole fish. Look, let's see this guy's eye. Normally you can see the eye. No, you can't even see the eye. They like literally burn the eye out of it too. One thing I've noticed since I've been here, I just been kind of looking around, and the service here is absolutely chaotic. People are boomeranging servers around for cutlery and like salt and like one slice of a lime. Like, it's hilarious, the service here. Most of the Colombians here are, I would consider them more wealthy Colombians. They're not, you know, this is fairly exclusive for Colombia in the standards. So they're more wealthy Colombians. There are not many visible tourists like me here. I like that. That's one of the things I like about being in Colombia, especially this part of Colombia. Whereas if you go to Medellin, muchas gracias, gracias. If you go to Medellin, then you will notice a lot more tourists. But here on this coast, there's way fewer, especially when you go outside of Cartagena. Anyway, I'm gonna enjoy this. I got my second beer, but that's all I'm gonna have. I cut myself off at 2, and then I have a bottle of water. Not gonna do the ice. Sometimes you just don't know with ice if it's the water's been purified or it's, you know. Last thing you want is to be on the toilet for weeks. Well, not for weeks, but for days. You don't want to be on the toilet for days. So anyway, I'm gonna down this, and we're gonna get into it, and I'll get back to you guys. Now, some people might instantly see this meal and be like, wait, sweet rice, fried plantains, whole fried fish? John, that's not healthy. Well, one of the things that people get wrong with health and fitness so much is feeling like you need to completely eliminate things that are not healthy if you eat them in high amounts. But what you're not recognizing is that the dose makes the poison. I don't eat this stuff much. When I'm down here, maybe I eat it more than when I'm in the north. For sure, I do. But it's maximum. Like the last time I did my last video, that was 2 weeks ago. No, that wasn't 2 weeks ago. That was 3 weeks ago. When I filmed that segment talking about the Moara, that was 3 weeks ago. This is my 3rd time having it here in 8 weeks. I had it 3 times in 8 weeks. That's all. That'll be it for how frequent that I eat fried food. That's it. That's it. Other than this, it's like fruit, vegetables, salads, white fish, eggs, chicken, boneless, skinless chicken breast, boneless, skinless chicken thighs, extra lean, like 97% lean ground meat. You know, like normal white rice, whole grain oats. Like, I don't play around with my nutrition. So when people see a food in isolation, I encourage all of you, if you see a food in isolation, you cannot look at that food in isolation and be like, that's bad. There's no such thing as a bad or a good food. There's only such thing as a bad or a good overall diet. So me, I have a good overall diet that allows me to maintain my health, my happiness, my sanity, and also my body. Okay? If I ate this every single day, yeah, my health would be worse. My cardio health would be worse. I'd probably have a gut, right? So just understand that the dose makes the poison, and it's not about the first misstep that people make is eliminating things straight out of their diet. Don't think that's what you have to do to lose weight. You absolutely do not need to eliminate anything out of your diet to lose weight. It's more or less. And what the problem is that most of you, the things that you have in the more category need to be in the less, and the things you have in the less category need to be in the more. You need to flip. And once you guys understand that it's a process of flipping things from one category to the other, one at a time, that is how you learn to control your health and lose weight over time regarding your diet. So there's a big tip. Like I need to do a mic drop on that one. If it wasn't for the reggae music, I would. Let's fucking get it. Can you guys see this little Chihuahua over here? I don't know if you can see it. This little white Chihuahua. All right, before I came to Latin America, I did not like Chihuahuas, but now I think they're so cute. This guy's got such an attitude. He's been over there stink barking at every little dog. It's so cute. Alright, check this out, gang. This is what you get when you go to a private beach club in the Costa Colombia. This total bill, including tip, is 69,900 Colombian pesos. Now, just let me put that in perspective. That's like 16 or 17 US dollars. Okay, and this is like at a private beach club. So this is as expensive as it gets. The water was about $1.25. The Corona was about $2.60, $2.70, and the plate with the fried fish was about $11. and that's about as expensive as it gets here. And it does get a lot cheaper than that. Like, you can get a mojar roja, like a fried fish like I got. You can get that for $3 to $5 less than this if you go to like a hole-in-the-wall joint. So, and definitely you can buy a 6-pack of beer in the grocery store for $3. So that Corona, if you get that on sale, that's $3. If you buy the local beer, it's $3 almost all the time. So even just paying almost $3 for one in a place like this and getting table service is pretty incredible. What's up, everyone? Back at the apartment now. I came back, get hydrated. I was sweating my ass off at the beach, and now my goal by going to Puerto Colombia was to walk in the Malecon, but the Malecon is under construction, so really there was nowhere to walk, so I pretty much had to go to that beach club and stay there. Now, not complaining in that, but that would have been a better thing for me to do, you know, with other people rather than just solo, but it was still a cool day. Now, make sure you guys check out my links down below for my TikTok and Instagram. Make sure you subscribe if you want more health, fitness, weight loss, and of course, travel-related content during this series. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell to be notified, and I hope you really enjoyed this video. One thing I really figured out at the end there, when I left that beach club, I realized that it's right next door to this other club called Kilimandario or something like that, which I've been to like 4 or 5 times. Now, I didn't realize that club was in Puerto Colombia, and I didn't realize the club I went to, Prado Mar, was next door to Kilimandario. Anyway, I just thought that was ridiculous. I thought I was going to some new novel place, but I was just going right beside the other place that I've already been multiple times. Anyway, hit that subscribe. We'll chat with you guys soon. Peace, let's go.